Hi, everybody. Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Listen, today, Kering. You know Kering? Kering owns Balenciaga, Gucci, all those brands. So anyway, Kering sales are down 9% as luxury slowdown stalls a revamp. Now, this is an article by Reuters from October 24th, and it's interesting because most of these luxury brands are now coming forth with their third quarter earnings for 2023. Most of these brands are, on the stock market, and they have their investors and they have to report to them. So on a quarterly basis, they give them calculations, how much the brand earned, how much sales they garnered, what are the profits. So you have all of these investors kind of being like, okay, we're doing good. How was the forecast? We've had a good forecast. Have you met the forecast, or is it under? Are the results under the forecast, above the forecast, and so on and so forth? Now, if the results are terrible, usually stockholders or shareholders start selling off their stock, which is never a good sign for a brand unless somebody's not manipulating the strings behind the scenes and wants people to sell en masse so that one person can buy up all the stock to garner and gain more power, more control over veto and decision power over certain brands. So there's a lot of strategy going behind all of this. But bottom line, what does this mean to us consumers? Well, if we're very critical towards consumer society in general and how these brands manipulate us into buying more and more and more, it is always fascinating to see how these brands, first of all, tickle us out of all our money in our wallets, right? They milk us for whatever we're worth for as long as possible, making us believe that certain overpriced products are actually worth the money, because we buy into the luxury dream when we buy these products, right? But then you wake up one morning and you're like, well, hold on a minute. Maybe $7,000 for a leather bag is not really worth it. You know what I mean? Maybe I was kind of just brainwashed into believing that it's worth it. And you stop buying and you start contemplating your choices more in depth, as you should. And when more people start contemplating this, sprinkle into that recipe a recession, the fact that people are struggling to make ends meet, paying rent, bringing food to the table, and all of a sudden you got yourself a perfect recipe to stop purchasing luxury goods in particular. And then all of these brands that were like marinating in their own sauces and juices from like selling these overpriced goods, all of a sudden they're like, oops, oh, we're not selling that much anymore. What will go, will go. Then 2023 comes forth and the third quarter of the year comes forth, and all of these brands are now sharing their earnings. So subscribe to my channel if you haven't already here on the tubes. Push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today, gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon, superdacob, all spelled together. There's where for extra perks. Thank you to my members and patrons who have already pledged. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream several times a week. You're all welcome to join me. Hi to my co-chatters. Thumb up this video, and let's get to this interesting article that that says a couple of things. Basically, they're saying that Gucci, and it's interesting to note how Kering, since the Balenciaga scandal, if you don't know that scandal, check it out on my channel. I've made several videos about Balenciaga. So you can research those videos on my channel as well and find out what the scandal is all about. And Kering is the brand that owns Balenciaga. Now, since that scandal, sales at Balenciaga have dropped. But also, Kering has reported that since a while now, their sales at Gucci, because Kering also owns Gucci, have been dropping since the last 2 years. Now, some of you are going to say, well, of course the sales have been dropping ever since they let Alessandro Michele go. Sales have been dropping. No. You see, one of the biggest reasons why, allegedly, they let him go, and everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion. So allegedly why they let him go is because sales have been consistently dropping since a while now. So they have been reporting sale drops since the last 2 years. Isn't that interesting? So we'll go. But why have sales been dropping? And this is something that this article touches base on. They're basically telling us in this article that China, and with China, most of the rest of the Asian market started losing interest in the whimsical, over-the-top escapism style designs of Alessandro Michele and Gucci. In other words, let's paraphrase together. China has woken up and is letting go of the tacky crap that Gucci has been churning out since a while now. And thank God for that. I want to tell you something, you guys. People are really quick that are not from China to throw shade at China. But might I remind you that China, we're talking thousands of years before Europe even knew how to wash their asses after taking a dump. China was already very sophisticated in that department, in the art department, in the culture department. China had such a strong culture when it comes to aesthetics and art that Europe can't even dream about it. Honey, England is to thank for a lot of the decay in China. We're not going to get into the whole opium crisis and the whole... You look it up. As good old Madge would say, look it up. But China is waking up and is realizing what an incredible culture it has. And so they're not buying that shit that a lot of European brands are churning out. It's that tacky stuff. So China was like, you know what? We're not going to be buying this anymore. So Kering immediately ditches Alessandro Michele, allegedly. And now they hire a new dude to rein it back in. Less tacky, more simple, streamlined, sophisticated in a way. Let's see, for spring-summer 2024. Let's see how the first new collection is going to sell. But very, very, very interesting to note how Kering immediately reacts to money. This shows us that their main clientele was Asia, still is, because if Asia stops buying these European luxury brands, they changed the tone of their music right away. So they've been catering to the Asian market with the escapism style and blah, blah, blah. But the Asian market outgrew that. Yes, hashtag reductive, Dario, very well said. That reductive style, if style you want to call it, and they've moved on, thankfully. Other brands are following suit. Other brands are also jumping on this wagon of looking at what does Asia actually want? Because most of the money for most of these luxury brands is coming from Asia because they're buying a lot. At the moment, these tendencies obviously always change and shift. There was a time when Russia was the main clientele. Don't think for a second that Karl Lagerfeld, when he was alive, you remember the tribute to Russia back in 2010, 2009, 2010, the whole Paris-Moscow collection that Karl Lagerfeld did for Chanel, that whole connection to Russia. Why, back in the 2008, 9, and 10 era, was Chanel and other brands, why were they dedicating entire collections to Russia? Easy, honey. Because most of the clients were Russian back in the day. Because Russia had that huge economic boom back in the day, was spending a lot of money, and all of these luxury brands cater immediately to the market that they are selling most to. So as you can see, the fashion world is very fickle. Very fickle. There is no principle. There is no, oh, I am proud of my work, I am proud of my heritage, and I'm going to stick to it no matter what you say. There's none of that when it comes to big money. When it comes to big money, it's all about, my client, okay, they got the big money. Uh-huh. And they want the tacky shit. Uh-huh. I'll give it to them. Oh, I'm ready to sell my soul for an extra buck. All of these brands are in it, not to win it, but to earn it. The money. Zero loyalty. Exactly, Corey. Zero loyalty. So, meh. Now, these brands are not showing us any loyalty, so why should we show them any loyalty? You know, when I raise awareness about certain practices from certain brands and these quarterly earnings, always in the comment section, there's going to be some idiot commenting, feeling offended to the core because they, the consumer of said brands, well, they feel called out. It's almost as if they feel like I'm slapping them in the face, the share moment and Moonstruck, snap out of it, telling them, wake the F up. You're being literally bullied. And I mean, these brands have no loyalty to you. Why? This is so embarrassing to see these people, these fans of these brands kind of ready to break a flag and something else for these brands. They're going to war for these brands. These brands to whom or to which these customers give thousands of dollars. The brand doesn't even know your name, honey. Okay, but you keep giving them all your money, and then you're going to war for your brands in the comment sections under these videos. You see how embarrassing you are? Because the brand does not really care. You just feel offended now because somebody's waking up on this end and is realizing how the game really works. And now you feel like I've called you out. Like, oh, wait, are you telling me that I'm stupid because I didn't realize how the game works? No, I'm not telling you you're stupid. But I'm telling you, wake up. You're not stupid. And it's because you're not stupid that you're watching this video. And it's because you're not stupid that you are actually waking up. A part of waking up and seeing the truth is also being grumpy about it. Because you do feel like a fool. You feel like, they've been making fun of me all this time. It's a part of the process of healing. You feel like you've been clowned, like you've been fooled over and over again. We've all been there. All of us who are waking up have been there. It's okay to feel that rage inside of you. It's okay. Gain control of your own desires, of your own will. Start consuming more consciously. As Vivienne Westwood told us, choose well, make it last, buy less. Stop falling for the FOMO. Stop buying whatever crap they churn out. And stop listening to the influencers out there telling you how amazing the products are. Chances are they got them for free or were paid to show them to you so that you would feel that pressure of needing to buy a product in order to also be a part of the club. Hate to break it to you, there is no club. It's all in your head. You think you gotta keep buying to belong to this elite club. There is no elite club. That's the biggest joke. There's no club. The brands don't have loyalty towards you, so they're not gonna treat you like you belong to a club. What they will do on the other end, however, is they will know that you feel like you need to belong to a club. So they will manipulate you constantly, bit by bit, into thinking that you got to keep buying more. And you have to keep buying consistently in order to keep raising yourself up in that level of belonging to that club that doesn't exist. And they're going to keep milking you for whatever you're worth, honey, so that they can ultimately do what? Not so that they can ultimately be more truthful to their own brand heritage, so that they can earn more money, so that they can make even better products for you. No, honey. If they are on the stock market, all they want is to keep their shareholders happy. So they're going to keep milking you for whatever you're worth, not so that they can up their quality. They don't care about the quality. They're going to do this so that they can then tell their shareholders at the end of every quarter, look, we've grown another 15%. Isn't that fabulous? You're getting even more dividends and even more return on your investment in us. So you, the client, what do you think you're doing? You're investing in these brands by buying the clothes? No, you can only be investing in them if you actually buy their stock. But you got to be quite rich because you're going to need to buy a lot of that stock if you want to see any returns on it. Otherwise, you're just working, and all your hard-earned cash, you're just letting it fly out the door in the hands, in the wallets, in the pockets of these brands who really don't care about you. They just care about the profits. So, back to this article. They're telling us that even smaller brands at these that belong to these higher brands like Kering or LVMH, up until a short while ago, enjoyed stellar growth, but also this growth has declined in the last quarter, with Yves Saint Laurent or Saint Laurent posting a 12% fall, and Bottega Veneta has also fallen down by 7%. Gucci as well. And then they say, beyond worsening macroeconomic conditions, the company's performance reflected Kering's move to take distribution in-house by reducing sales through wholesale channels in a bid to cut on promotions and move its labels upmarket. Deputy CEO Jean-Marc Duplay told reporters, what does this mean? This means that now Kering is trying to play that exclusivity game to try to make you, the customer, brainwashed into believing that, oh, wow, I don't know, we're going to see less Sophie Choretz sitting down in front of their cameras telling you, oh, I have a link to, what was it, Fashion File, or what's it called? One of those companies, I'm not earning any money off of it, but here's the coupon code with my name on it. Girl, who are you fooling? Look, I even noticed that even Yves Saint Laurent bags sometimes go on sale there. You can get your 5%. So now Kering is trying to avoid that, you see, so that people like Sophie are not going to be able to make those videos anymore because Yves Saint Laurent doesn't want to have distribution in a lot of these external channels, but they want to be the only ones. They're reining it back in, basically. They want to become more like Chanel. Like they want to be the only ones selling their product to you. Not Fashion File, not somebody else with coupon codes and, this and that, because they feel that that diminishes the value of their product. So they want to brainwash you into thinking that they're becoming more exclusive. They're only doing this because their sales are going bad. So now they're playing this game of saying to everybody, we value our product tremendously, and it's because we respect our product so much, we are, making it more hard to obtain. The only reason they're making their product more hard to obtain is because their sales aren't doing very well. Otherwise, they would have made their product harder to obtain years ago. But they didn't do this years ago because years ago their sales were booming during the pandemic, and there was no need to reduce the amount of product available on other websites. But now that the sales aren't going that well, now they're playing that game of exclusivity, you see. Get into the psychology of these brands, you guys. It's very fascinating. And once you get into that psychology and you unlock their little games and their little strategies, all of a sudden they have no power over you anymore. That FOMO evaporates. It bursts like a little bubble. The luxury bubble has burst. And I say thank goodness. So wake up and smell the coffee. Let me know your thoughts and prayers down below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, thumb it up and subscribe. Until next time, darling, never give up on love. Bye.